Dear brothers and sisters, if you wish to understand what paradise is like, how it feels, and what experiences await in this marvelous place, join us on this exciting journey. We are confident that you will be moved and will also grasp how a part of the bliss of paradise can be experienced right here on earth by following simple rules. Let's begin by delving into the writings about the visions of paradise by Saint Teresa of Avila, a mystic and Carmelite reformer. Saint Teresa left an indelible legacy with her theology of the interior castle and her profound mystical experiences, which enabled her to describe paradise with vividness and intensity. Listening to Teresa of Avila's testimony gives us a clear preview of what paradise is and what happens there. Imagine crossing the threshold into an extraordinary place, filled with blinding light and unparalleled peace. A blossoming garden intoxicates the senses with heady fragrances, where each flower shines like a precious gem. A regal palace that envelops the soul in an embrace of infinite love. This is not a dream, but a taste of paradise as described by Saint Teresa of Avila, who had the privilege of experiencing glimpses of this eternal bliss during her lifetime.
I seemed to be in a very large garden where there were many varieties of beautiful flowers and fruits. There was also a delightful fragrance filling the air. In this garden, there was an intense light that illuminated everything, making it all even more beautiful. I felt immersed in indescribable peace and joy. I understood that this was paradise, the place where souls enjoy eternal bliss in the company of God.
Saint Teresa of Avila confirms that paradise is not only a state of the soul, but a tangible place, a flowering garden permeated by the presence of God. She describes it as a palace with many storerooms, where the soul is in complete union with God, enjoying indescribable and eternal bliss.
On another occasion, I had a vision of a wonderful city, built with precious stones and surrounded by dazzling light. Inside the city were magnificent palaces, enchanting gardens, and crystal-clear rivers. I was told that this was the heavenly Jerusalem, the eternal dwelling of the saints. At that moment, I felt a burning desire to reach this place of bliss and to live forever in the company of God and His angels.
Throughout her life, Saint Teresa experienced numerous heavenly visions that gave her a taste of paradisiacal bliss. These mystical experiences, often encountered during prayer, strengthened her faith and conviction in God's infinite love.
Once, while I was praying, I was granted the grace to see the Holy Trinity. The Father was like an immense and shining light, the Son like a man of incomparable beauty, and the Holy Spirit like a dove of fire. The three divine persons were united perfectly, and from them emanated an infinite love that filled my soul. At that moment, I understood that paradise consists of being in complete union with God and immersing oneself in His eternal love. One of my most beautiful visions was that of the risen Jesus. I saw Him in all His glory, with the wounds of His sacrifice transformed into bright flames of love. His gaze was full of tenderness and compassion, and His words were filled with sweetness and consolation. In that moment, I felt completely loved and forgiven, and I understood that paradise is being in the company of Jesus and enjoying His infinite love.
Saint Teresa spoke of paradise with joyful anticipation, seeing it as the promise of God's eternal and unconditional love. I expect no less from heaven than I expect from Him. I expect everything, she declared enthusiastically, expressing her desire to be fully immersed in divine love.
In one of my recent mystical experiences, I was graced with the union with God. I felt completely absorbed into his essence, like a drop of water lost in the ocean. I ceased to exist as a separate individual, but became one with God. At that moment, I experienced a joy and peace beyond description, surpassing all imagination. I realized that this was the true paradise, the ultimate fulfillment of my desire for love and union with God.
For Saint Teresa, paradise can also be experienced on earth, and we can all partake in it through total faith and a daily path of love towards God and others. Her theology of the interior castle outlines this journey of spiritual growth, where the soul, through prayer, surrender, and mortification, purifies itself and draws ever closer to God. This path is for everyone. All of us can experience this state of bliss. All of us can experience the joy of paradise during our earthly life.
I do not need to go to heaven to enjoy heaven. Heaven begins here on earth.
The human soul is like a castle with 7 chambers. As the soul progresses in the spiritual life, it moves from chamber to chamber, drawing closer to the dwelling of God. The first chambers represent worldly life and its vanities. In the subsequent chambers, the soul purifies itself through prayer, mortification, and surrender. The final chambers represent mystical union with God, where the soul experiences the bliss of paradise already here on earth. Saint Teresa's reflections on paradise encourage us to live a life of deep love and trust in God, knowing that every step taken with love brings us closer to that ultimate state of celestial bliss. Her vision of paradise is not a distant reality, but a presence that can begin in the heart of anyone who chooses to walk humbly with God. "I will be love," Teresa proclaimed, signaling her desire to become one with the very essence of divine love in paradise. The words of Saint Teresa of Avila continue to resonate over time, offering valuable guidance for those who wish to deepen their relationship with God and attain eternal bliss of paradise even here on earth. Dear brothers and sisters, the words of Saint Teresa of Avila fill us with hope and love. Let us know in the comments what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on new videos and join our community of faith and prayer. May God bless us.